I woke up in his body that morning, staring at the reflection of a man I'd hated for years. Broad shoulders, salt and pepper hair, that smug jawline that had ruined my life, and the first thing I did was smile. Because revenge isn't sweet, it's a goddamn symphony of shattered bones and stolen legacies. They said I married him for the money. That Kylie, the bartender from the wrong side of the tracks, had clawed her way into old money like a parasite in pearls. But what they didn't know was that I'd been the one holding the strings all along, pulling them tighter until the whole neighborhood choked on its own lies. And as I slipped into his tailored suit, feeling the weight of his Rolex like a noose around my wrist, I whispered to the mirror, "Time to burn it all down, Harlan." Because body swaps aren't fairy tales, they're the universe's cruelest joke on the people who deserve to lose everything. The suburb of Willow Creek, just outside Seattle, was the kind of place where lawns were mowed at dawn and secrets were buried deeper than the foundations of those overpriced colonials. Picture it, rain-slicked streets lined with Teslas and Subarus, coffee shops slinging $7 lattes to housewives in Lululemon, and block parties where everyone pretended the opioid crisis wasn't eating their kids alive. It was 2025. Post-pandemic America at its most polished hypocrisy, remote workers glued to Zoom, influencers hawking essential oils, and neighborhood apps buzzing with passive-aggressive alerts about suspicious delivery vans that were just brown people doing their jobs. I wasn't always the villain in their whispers. Back when I was me, Kylie Hargrove, 32, with calloused hands from slinging drinks at the Rusty Anchor and a trust fund scar from a father who bailed before I could walk, I moved into Willow Creek 5 years ago, chasing the American dream on credit. My husband, Harlan Whitaker, was the catch, 48, venture capitalist, heir to a logging fortune that had morphed into tech investments. We met at a gala for some eco-charity he was laundering his guilt through. He was charming in that old money way, dry martinis, stories about Yale, a laugh that made you feel seen until you realized he was just appraising your resale value. The wedding was a spectacle, string quartet in the backyard of his family's estate, vows exchanged under a gazebo dripping with wisteria, neighbors toasting with Veuve Clicquot while side-eyeing my thrift store gown. "She's a gold digger," I overheard Mrs. Hargrove, no relation, thank God, from across the hedge later that night. Harlan slumming it. It stung. But I laughed it off. What did they know? I had my own plans. See? Harlan wasn't just rich. He was connected. And in Willow Creek, connections were currency. But betrayal doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It creeps in like Seattle fog. 6 months in, I found the emails. Not the affair, though that came later. With his assistant, a 24-year-old from Stanford named Becca. All yoga pants and ambition. No, it was the ledgers. Harlan's firm had tanked a startup I'd poured my savings into, a little app for gig workers to unionize. He'd buried the fraud, pinned the collapse on me as the consultant, and when the SEC came knocking, I took the fall. 5 years probation. My name smeared across the local paper. Whitaker wife an investment scam. The neighbors? They ate it up. Block watches turned into boycott lists. My friends ghosted. Harlan? He played the wounded husband, filing for divorce quietly while I drowned in legal fees. That's when the secret clawed its way out. Harlan hadn't just screwed me over. He'd done it to my brother.
Two. Tommy.
My kid brother, fresh out of the Marines, had been the startup's coder. Harlan poached him, promised equity, then framed him for embezzlement when Tommy started asking questions. Tommy ate his gun in a motel off I-5, 6 months before the wedding. Harlan covered it up, paid off the coroner. Spun it as PTSD. Hero's End, the headline said. I didn't know until after the vows. When a USB drive from Tommy's locker showed up in my mailbox. Anonymous. The files detailed everything. Harlan's shell companies. The bribes. The way he'd whispered to Tommy that he was ungrateful trash, not worth the dirt on his Ferragamos. I confronted him that night. Rain hammering the roof like Judgment Day. You killed him, I said. Voice cracking. Harlan just sipped his scotch. Eyes cold as Puget Sound. Collateral. Kylie. Business. He laughed when I threatened the cops, said I'd end up like Tommy. Another statistic. That's when I decided. Not the law. Not the press. Revenge. Slow. Surgical. American style, where the powerful fall not with a bang, but with their own greed strangling them. But how do you topple a man who owns half the city council? I started small. Liquidated my assets. Bought up foreclosed lots on the edge of Willow Creek under shell LLCs. Neighbors whispered louder. Kylie's flipping houses? Pathetic. But I didn't care. I was building an empire in the shadows, leveraging Harlan's own tax loopholes against him. By year 2 of our sham marriage, I controlled 20% of a suburb's undeveloped land. He noticed, finally, during a dinner party where some realtor let slip my latest acquisition. Clever girl, he murmured later. In bed, his hand on my throat like a promise. But don't forget who taught you. The body swap? That was the twist no one saw coming. Least of all me. It happened on a retreat. Harlan dragged me to some Silicon Valley woo-woo thing in the Cascades. Ayahuasca circles and executive enlightenment. He wanted to rekindle, he said. But I knew it was control. The shaman was a fraud. Ex-con with a rap sheet longer than his dreads. Peddling soul exchanges to burn out tech bros. We drank the brew under the stars. Harlan mocking it the whole time. Placebo bullshit, he slurred. Then the world tilted. I came to in his body. The tent zipper stuck on his trembling fingers. Harlan's voice echoed from my own throat across the fire. What the fuck? Panic hit like a freight train. The shaman bolted, leaving us to sort the exchange. Turns out, the brew was laced with some black market neurotoxin. A 1 in a million glitch that swapped neural imprints. Doctors later called it embodied dissociation. Fancy for, you're trapped in your husband's skin. Lady. Reversible? Maybe. With time and therapy. But Harlan? He saw opportunity. Stay quiet, he hissed from my body, eyes wild. Or I ruin you. Both of us.
So I did.
Played along. Woke up as Harlan Whitaker, CEO. Slipping into board meetings. Signing deals with a tremor in his voice. The neighbors bought it. Why wouldn't they? I was the grieving husband. Post-divorce. Dating Becca openly now. Whispers shifted. Poor Harlan. That gold digger nearly bankrupted him.
Meanwhile,
in my body, Harlan played the victim. Therapy sessions, Instagram posts about healing, raking in sympathy donations for abuse survivors. He even got a book deal out of it. The irony? It fueled my fire. From inside his fortress, I learned everything. His passwords, his mistresses, the offshore accounts siphoning millions from Willow Creek's community fund, the one meant for schools and parks, now padding his Cayman vaults. Tommy's death? Just the tip. Harlan had a ledger of disposals. Whistleblowers vanished. Rivals' kids hooked on his supplied fentanyl. He was untouchable. A kingpin in khakis. But I was him now.
and kings fall from within.
My first move was subtle: reroute a $2 million grant for neighborhood revitalization. Not to the council, to my LLCs. Whispers turned to outrage. Harlan skimming. Anonymous tips flooded the app.
He,
In my body. Played innocent. Kylie schemes from beyond the grave. It was delicious. But tension coiled tighter. Becca noticed Harlan's distance. The way I fumbled our inside jokes. One night, she cornered me in the master suite, his suite, all leather and ego. "You're not him," she whispered.
eyes narrowing.
I froze. She'd been in on it, the fraud. Tommy's frame-up. Harlan's pet project. "Doesn't matter," I said. Harlan's baritone steady. "Betray me, and you're next." She didn't. Not yet. Instead, she became my unwitting ally, feeding me dirt while I fed her lies. Controversial? Hell yes. Sleeping with my husband's mistress in his body. Plotting his downfall, it twisted my guts. But ends justify means in this game. America loves its antiheroes. Right? The ones who bend rules until they snap. By month 3, I owned 40% of Willow Creek. Foreclosures spiked, Harlan's market manipulations backfiring as I shorted the properties he overvalued. Neighbors picketed my office, Harlan's office, chanting thief, while he, in my frail frame, sobbed on local news. My ex ruined us all. The board turned. Whispers of ousting Harlan grew. He panicked, confronted me in a storage unit off Aurora Avenue, my body looking haunted under fluorescent buzz. "Switch back. You bitch," he snarled, voice high and broken. I laughed his laugh, booming.
Why?
"This skin fits better." "And Tommy? He sends his regards." That's when he lunged, a pocket knife glinting. I sidestepped, years of self-defense classes kicking in, and pinned me against the wall. "You took everything," I said, breath hot on my own ear. "Now I take it back. I didn't kill him."
Not then.
But I left him bruised. A warning. He ran. Holed up in a motel. Plotting. I let him. Let the noose tighten. The climax brewed at the Willow Creek Gala. Annual schmooze fest in the community center, now half-owned by me. I arrived as Harlan. Arm candy Becca on my elbow. The room abuzz with suspicion. Council members cornered me. "Harlan." "The funds." I smiled. Clinked glasses. All in good time. Harlan crashed it in my body. Disheveled. Screaming accusations. "He's not me. Kylie's possessed him." Laughter rippled. Then unease. Security dragged him out. But not before he flashed the USB, Tommy's files. Grainy on his phone screen. Chaos erupted. Phones lit up. Reporters swarmed. I took the stage. Harlan's voice steady. "My wife. She's unstable. But the truth? Let's air it." I projected the ledgers. Harlan's crimes. Timestamps linking him to Tommy's death. The fund thefts. Gasps echoed. Becca. Scripted. Confirmed it all. He made me lie. The room fractured. Neighbors who'd shunned me now glaring at me as the villain. Harlan broke free. Charged the stage. Knife in hand again. "You whore," he shrieked from my lips. I dodged. The crowd surging. A councilman tackled him, her, and cops swarmed. As they cuffed Kylie, I leaned close. "Welcome home, Harlan. Probation suits you, but twists." As I said, are the devil's work. In the aftermath, as Willow Creek crumbled, foreclosures rampant, my LLCs snapping up the ruins, the doctors called. The swap?
Permanent.
Neural pathways fused. No reversal. Harlan rotted in county jail, my body wasting away, pleading insanity.
Me?
I kept his shell, his empire. Buried Tommy properly, under a cherry tree on my land. The neighbors? Some fled, some groveled. We were wrong about you, Mr. Whitaker. I smiled, but inside, Kylie screamed. Was it victory or prison? Here's the real gut punch. Becca's pregnancy test. Positive. Slipped into my pocket that night. Harlan's kid. My kid? In this body. Raising his heir as the monster he was. Controversial as hell. Keep it. Abort it. Give it up. I chose to keep it. A living fuck you to his legacy. But late nights, staring at his reflection, I wonder, did I win? Or become him? Willow Creek whispers now. Harlan's a saint, rebuilding us. They have no idea. I own it all, the streets, the secrets, the souls. And if the baby cries like Tommy did,
well,
revenge is a cycle, baby. Round and round. The days blurred after the gala. A haze of depositions and developer bids. All filtered through Harlan's whiskey-scarred eyes. Willow Creek didn't collapse overnight. Suburbs like this are built on denial. On $500 therapy sessions and group chats dissecting the scandal. I played the part flawlessly. Harlan Whitaker. Philanthropist Phoenix. Pledging millions to restore trust. In truth, every dollar funneled back to my web of LLCs. Buying out the holdouts, the yoga studio on Elm, the craft brewery pretending to be artisanal, even the elementary school that had banned my tainted niece from show and tell. From his body, the world felt heavier, testosterone spikes making me punch walls when deals soured, erectile dysfunction, meds mocking me from the nightstand. I miss my curves, the way wind tugged my hair, but adaptation is survival. I hired a trainer, sculpted his frame into something sharper, and dated women who reminded me of forgotten freedoms, a barista with tattooed knuckles, a lawyer who chain-smoked camels like my mom used to. Controversial? Dating as a man while mourning your womanhood. It sparked late-night forums. Is Harlan transitioning? Willow Creek WTF. I let the rumors fester. Distraction is the best armor. Harlan. In my skin. Lawyered up fast. Public defender spun it as severe identity crisis, but the judge saw through. Assault with a deadly. Plus the knife at the gala. Bail denied. From visitation glass. He glared. My own face gaunt. Freckles stark against jail pallor. You'll rot in this, he mouthed. I pressed the intercom. Already have? Darling. Your fault. He ranted about the swap. The shaman conspiracy nuts ate it up online. Podcasts dubbing us the Whitaker Witch. But evidence? The USB was forged in their eyes. Harlan's firm had buried deeper scandals. Still, it chipped him. Letters from old partners trickled in.
Distancing.
Becca visited him once. Came back to me with swollen eyes. He called the baby a leverage tool. I held her, awkward, paternal, and plotted. The buried secret deepened. Digging through his safe biometric. But I was him now. I found letters. Not love notes. Blackmail files on half of Willow Creek. Mayor Ellis's affair with the PDA president. The realtor who'd shorted my startup flipping bribes for zoning variances. And Tommy? A photo, Him and Harlan, arms slung, pre-betrayal, at a Mariners game. Tommy's grin wide. Harlan's possessive. My protege, a sticky note read. Harlan hadn't just used him, he'd groomed him, then discarded when Tommy wouldn't launder funds through family charities. The mistake I took? It was Harlan's design. Marry the Mark's sister. Control the narrative. I'd been bait from the jump. Rage boiled. But I channeled it. Controversial decision 1. I leaked select files anonymously. Not all enough to topple Ellis. Force resignations. Willow Creek imploded. Property values tanked 30%. For sale, signs like dandelions. Neighbors fled to Bellevue, whispering I was the devil in Harlan's clothes. Mrs. Hargrove cornered me at the grocery, Whole Foods. Organic kale aisle. You destroyed us. Whitaker. For that tramp, I leaned in, his cologne cloying. Tramp owned your mortgage.
Edith.
Pay up or pack. She blanched. My LLC held her note. Becca swelled. Cravings for pho at 2 a.m. And I played doting, Harlan 2.0. But Kinder. Ultrasounds showed a girl. I named her in my head. Echo. For the voices I'd silenced. But doubt crept. Was I raising Harlan's spawn? Or redeeming it? Abortion crossed my mind. Clinics in Seattle are sanctuaries. No questions, but the heartbeat on the monitor hooked me. Life's the ultimate twist, from revenge to reluctant fatherhood. America romanticizes it. Hallmark cards and all. But it's raw. A knife edge between nurture and neglect. Harlan's trial loomed. 6 months out. He smuggled notes via a guard, threats.
Please.
Switch back. And I'll confess. Clean slate.
Tempting.
My body was failing him. Migraines. Phantom pains where my periods used to ghost. But trust? Shattered like Tommy's dog tags. Pawned for bail, I never posted. Instead, I visited the shaman's trail. Tracked him to a flop in Tacoma, reeking of patchouli and regret. The brew, I growled. Harlan's bulk intimidating. He spilled, experimental, duty funded once. 4 POW interrogations. Reversals?
Rare.
Risky electroshock therapy. Black market psychotropics. Cost you $50K, he leered. I paid. But the vial he handed over? Placebo. I bet. Test later confirmed. Saline. Another betrayal.
Fine.
I'd end it my way. Tension peaked at a town hall. My show. Nominally. Rebuilding Willow Creek banner. Folding chairs, scraping linoleum. I took the mic as Harlan, promising transparency. Crowd murmured, holdouts. Vultures eyeing bargains. Then the doors banged. Harlan escaped on a technicality. Rid of habeas or some shit. Flanked by goons in ill-fitting suits. My body, strung out. Veins mapping track marks he'd hidden in jail. Lies, he shrieked. Waving printouts, faked. Claiming I was the fraudster. Kylie, the mastermind. Chaos, screams, flashes popping. His goons rushed the stage. I vaulted the podium, tackling myself in a tangle of limbs. We rolled. My nails raking Harlan's cheek. You stole my life, he howled. I pinned him, knee and throat. You stole too. Cops swarmed again. But not before he whispered. Hot against my ear. The baby's mine. But the swap? I paid the shaman to target you. Payback for Tommy sniffing too close.
Lie?
Truth?
His eyes. My eyes.
Gleamed with that old cunning. Handcuffs clicked, and he laughed. Manic. You'll never escape me, Kylie. We're fused. The hall emptied. Echoes fading. Becca, from the wings, clutched her belly, face ashen. Is it over? I pulled her close, his arms strong but hollow. Almost. That night, rain lashed his estate, as I burned the letters. Controversial? Torching evidence? Perverting justice?
Yeah.
But Harlan's power was in the shadows. Light it up, and it scatters. Pregnancy progressed. Becca nested in the guest wing, wary but warming. We talked Tommy, stories I'd buried, his laugh like gravel in thunderstorms. She confessed her role. He said you were disposable. I believed him. Forgiveness?
Not yet.
But alliance? Ironclad. Willow Creek stabilized under my thumb, rebuilt parks with hidden clauses tying land to me forever. Neighbors returned, chastened, potlucks laced with 4 smiles. Mr. Whitaker, you're a godsend. I nodded. But inside, Kylie's ghost plotted the endgame. Harlan's retrial fast-tracked, evidence mounting, Becca's testimony, recovered drives. But the twist loomed. In lockup, he attempted suicide, slit my wrist shallow. Note blaming the imposter. Hospitalized. He spilled to psych eval, the full confession. Recorded. Harlan Whitaker. Murderer. Fraudster. Soul thief. It aired on King 5. Prime time. Willow Creek watched. Jaws slack. I visited the ICU. Machines beeping my stolen rhythm. Why now? I asked, gripping my hand. Weak smile. Couldn't live as you. Weak Kylie. Always the victim. Venom. Even dying. But his eyes flickered. Regret? Or final play? Monitors flatlined hours later. Official. Overdose on smuggled pills. Unofficial? I paid the orderly extra. Controversial as cyanide. Funeral was circus. Media gawkers. Neighbors eulogizing the troubled soul. I stood graveside. Harlan's widow in black. Becca on arm. Bump prominent. Whispers. He redeemed himself.
Confessing.
I buried him next to Tommy. Poetic. Twisted. Echo kicked. I placed her hand on the mound. Uncle Tommy says hi. But the reversal hit postpartum. Becca in recovery. Me pacing halls. When the doctor approached, the specialist I'd consulted secretly. The fusion. It's unraveling. Stress. Maybe. Days. Not months. Panic clawed. Back in Harlan's skin? No, slipping into limbo. Neither. Visions, Tommy's ghost. Shotgun barrel cold. Harlan's laugh echoing. I confessed to Becca. Vial in hand. The real reversal serum. Sourced from a Swiss contact. Choose, I said. She stared. Echo nursing.
Stay.
For her. Controversial? Becoming father in a stolen body. Raising Harlan's blood as my own? Debated in custody battles she won. But I fought dirty, lawyers. Leverage. Willow Creek thrives now. My empire veiled. Neighbors? They whisper of the gold digger who won. But hush when I drive by in his Bentley. Echo's first word. Mama. Whose?
Mine.
Always. Echo's cries pierce the nursery like accusations, pulling me from Harlan's king-sized bed where silk sheets tangled like nooses. 3 months post-suicide, and Willow Creek had stitched itself into a fragile normalcy. New mayor in pocket. Property taxes rerouted to my community trusts. But normalcy is a lie for the body swapped. Every mirror mocked me, his stubble itching like guilt. I shaved twice daily, slathering on her lotions, Kylie's rituals. Stolen back in fragments. Becca adapted faster than I. Motherhood sharpening her edges. She'd moved into the main house, claiming the master suite while I bunked in the study, surrounded by Harlan's first editions, Hemingway sneering from spines. "You're brooding again," she'd say, handing off a bottle-warmed formula. Echo's eyes, blue like Tommy's, tracked me with infant curiosity. Was it love or recognition? I held her gingerly, his broad hands dwarfing her fragility, whispering Seattle lullabies Mom sang before the cancer took her. "Hush, little baby. Don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird." Becca watched, conflicted. "She needs stability." Harlan, Kylie. Whatever you are. The name game was our private war. To the world, I was Harlan Whitaker, widower, mogul. To her, a hyphenated horror, Har Kylie. Controversial dinners ensued, steak for his appetite, salads for my ghosts, debating identity over Merlot. "You're more her now," she'd probe, fork spearing arugula. "The way you flinch at loud noises, like bar fights," I'd counter. "And you're still his, carrying his lies in your resume." Truth was, we were fused wreckage, orbiting echo like wary moons. The buried secret resurfaced in a manila envelope. FedEx to the estate, no return. Inside, photos of the shaman, not in Tacoma, but D.C., shaking hands with suited feds. Harlan's confession tape,
Doctored.
a sticky note, collaterals forever. Impossible. Dead men don't mail. My pulse hammered, his pulse. Arrhythmia flaring, and I called in favors. PI from the old firm. Ex-SEAL with a nose for ghosts. He dug. Harlan had contingencies. A dead man's switch via crypto wallet. Timed releases if he flatlined. The suicide?
Staged.
Faked death. Extracted via bribed medic. Now in witness protection as Kylie Hargrove. My body, loose in the system. Rage surged. Hot and arterial. He'd played me us again. The swap was an accident. He'd engineered it deeper. Using DoD ties from his logging days, timber contracts. Black Ops wood. Tommy's death? Prototype test. Neurotoxin on vets. Harlan the supplier. I'd married the devil. Birthed his due. Decisions cascaded, each grayer than the last. Leak the photos? Topple the feds. Invite scrutiny, IRS audits on my empire. Becca urged caution, for echo. But caution is surrender. I chose offense, seeded rumors on neighborhood apps. Ghost of Kylie haunts Harlan. Paranoia bloomed, tires slashed, drones buzzing roofs. Mrs. Hargrove called. Voice quavering. "It's her, isn't it? Back for blood." I feigned concern. "Stay vigilant." Edith. Inside. Kylie's cackle rose. The antagonist's shadow lengthened. Harlan. In my skin. Surfaced in snippets. ATM cam in Reno. My freckled face hooded. Withdrawing from joint accounts. He was rebuilding. Small-time casino hustles. Identity theft rings. But power called. Whispers of him pitching soul tech to VCs in Vegas. Ayahuasca 2.0. Cunning bastard. Turning our curse to coin. I countered, shorted his mark stocks, froze assets. Tit for tat escalated, my Bentley torched in the drive. Echo's nanny dosed with laxatives. Becca barricaded. He's winning.
End it.
Climax brewed in the Cascades. Full circle. Intel placed him at a retreat. Same lodge. New marks. I drove up alone. Harlan's Escalade eating miles. Rain sheeting like tears. Becca stayed with Echo. Promise extracted. Come back whole. The lot crawled with trust fund zombies. Ayahuasca haze thick. I spotted me, thinner. Tattoos I'd never inked, snaking arms, holding court by the fire pit. Voice my alto, laced with his drawl. Exchanges aren't swaps, folks. They're evolutions. I approached, casual in his Patagonia fleece. Room for one more. Kylie. My eyes widened, then narrowed to slits. Harlan. Or should I say, thief. We circled, flames popping, groupies edging back. You died, I said.
Low.
Sloppy. He smirked, my lips curling his cruelty. Diversion. Like your precious brother. Bait. Confession spilled. Venomous. He targeted Tommy for the code. Not cash. Union app? Trojan horse for data harvesting. Selling to feds. When Tommy balked. Frame up.
Me?
Insurance. Marry the loose end. Shut her up. The brew? To trap my soul. Watch me writhe in his decay. Cancer. Stage 3. Undiagnosed then. Shock rooted me, his body betrayed. Knees buckling. Why tell? He laughed. My laugh light, but laced with rot. Because you're me now. Power's the drug. Echo, my heir. You'll raise her rotten. Knife flashed, same pocket blade, and he lunged. We grappled, rolling into underbrush. His wiry frame, my frame, fueled by desperation. Branches snapped, breath ragged. End it, I grunted, pinning him. Confess. He bucked. Never. She's gold. That kid. Dig all you want. A twist. Sirens wailed distant, my PI. Tipped. Cops swarmed. Tasers crackling. Harlan thrashed, cursing my name from my throat. Cuffed. He spat. The reversal? It's in the brew. Drink. And we're even.
Lie?
The vial in my pocket burned. Groupies babbled. Phones recording. Headline fodder. Whitaker twin? Bizarre assault in woods. Back home. Becca paced. Echo fretful. Alive, she demanded. I nodded. Collapsing. The vial, tested later. Real serum. Harlan's final gift. Poison chalice. Drink. And swap back. Kylie in jail for his crimes. Harlan free in mine?
Or stay?
Rule as him. But lose her essence? Sleepless. I weighed. Revenge complete. But at what cost? Echo cooed. Tiny fist clutching my finger, his finger. Dawn broke gray. I poured the vial into the sink. Controversial? Dooming us to fusion. Raising a Whitaker in limbo?
Yeah.
But power's addictive. Seattle style, drizzle masking monsoons. Harlan? Extradited. Trial pending. My body. His prison. Willow Creek healed. Oblivious. I walked Echo's first steps on land I owned. Neighbors applauding the family man. Whispers faded. Harlan's blessed. They had no clue. I owned the dirt. The deals. The daughter. And in quiet moments, Kylie's voice whispered, "Enough? Never." Echo's toddler tantrums echoed through the estate like Harlan's ghost, her chubby fists pounding high chairs while Becca and I tag-teamed discipline in a Cold War truce. 2 years blurred since the Cascades melee. Willow Creek metastasized into my fiefdom, gated enclaves branded Whitaker Woods, rents jacking 20% under, improvement clauses. Neighbors grumbled in Starbucks lines, Harlan's squeezing us dry, but paid. Addicted to the illusion of ascent.
Me?
Harlan's shell housed a fractured court, board meetings in his timbre, bedtime stories in Kylie's lilt, slipping when exhaustion hit. The swap's permanence gnawed, a low hum like tinnitus. Doctors monitored, fMRI scans mapping neural bleed. Fascinating case for journals I suppressed with NDAs. Becca thrived. Law firm partner now. Specializing in executive estates, our shared euphemism for laundering regrets. Echo called me Dada, Becca Mama. But nights, she'd crawl into my lap, demanding Kylie stories. I'd spin yarns of the rusty anchor, neon buzz. Tips in mason jars, watching her lashes flutter. Was Dada bad? She'd lisp. Beca'd intervene. Complex. Baby. Truth was uglier. Harlan's genes in her dimples. Tommy's fire in her questions. Betrayal's echoes lingered. Harlan's trial dragged. Appeal stacking like Jenga, his lawyers painting Kylie as delusional. Me as puppeteer. From my body, he testified via video. My face gaunt, eyes feral. He stole my soul. Your honor. For revenge over a junkie brother. Jury wavered. Media frenzy dubbed it the body snatcher's docket. I testified as Harlan. Suit crisp. Voice measured. My wife suffered. Tragically, Becca's cross-exam sealed it. Ledgers. Tapes. Her tearful, he coerced me. Verdict. Life. No parole. Slammer in Walla Walla. My frame wasting on state slop. But power corrupts bidirectional. My empire ballooned. Acquisitions in Tacoma. Whispers of Seattle council runs. Controversial pivot. I greenlit a rehab village on Tommy's old motel site. Ironic penance. Opening ribbon cut. Neighbors toasted. Redemption. Harlan. Inside. I seethed. The secret Harlan buried deepest? Unearthed by my PI. His firm's ties to Big Pharma. Fentanyl precursors funneled through logging shells. Tommy's P? Test subject for tolerance trials. I'd taken the scam fall to shield that. Unknowingly, Harlan's docs forged, blaming my instability. Rage reignited. Surgical now. I sued pharma giants. Class action goldmine. Positioning as whistleblower widower. Headlines flipped. Whitaker versus the machine. Willow Creek swelled with pride. Finally. Their mogul versus the beast. Becca cautioned, this paints a target. She was right. Threats escalated. Brick through nursery window. Traitor scrawled in red. Echo's preschool band playdates. Parents cited family drama. I hired security. Ex-feds in black SUVs. Turning the estate fortress. Decisions darkened. 1. Becca's promotion demanded DC. Stint 6 months. Echo in tow. Go, I said. Harlan's pragmatism. But loneliness hit like withdrawal. Empty halls amplified doubts. Solo. I dove deeper. Harlan's vices calling. Whiskey neat. Women for hire. Fleeting warmth in his arms. Guilt mornings. What would Kylie do?
Punch out. Probably.
Instead, I channeled to the village. Free therapy for vets. Tommy's face on plaques. Climax simmered at Echo's fourth birthday. Pony rides in the backyard. Piñata bursting candy like suppressed screams. Guests. Vetted neighbors. Becca zooming from Georgetown. Laughter peaked when the clown, hired via shady app, froze. Makeup cracking. Message for Whitaker, he muttered, slipping an envelope before bolting. Inside. Photo of Echo at preschool. Sniper scope overlay.
Zenda?
Harlan's old guard. Pharma cutouts. Heart seized. Eye evacuated. Cake uneaten. PI traced. Hit sanctioned. Retaliation for the suit. Becca flew back. Fury etched. End this, or I take her. Ultimatum. I chose scorched earth, leaked the full pharma files, igniting congressional probes. Chaos. Stocks plunged. Execs indicted. Willow Creek rioted, protests at my gates. Hero or hustler, signs. Mrs. Hargrove led. You brought this curse. I faced them from the porch. Harlan stance defiant. Blame the ghosts you ignored. Harlan exploited from inside. Smuggled interviews. My voice croaking his manifesto. Kylie's the monster, body thief. Child stealer. Cult following bloomed, Q adjacent forums. Free Kylie merch. Twist. A guard leaked tapes, Harlan plotting escape. Targeting Echo as leverage. Feds swarmed Walla Walla, he vanished. Lockdown breach. Manhunt National, my body. Loose cannon. Tension crested in Georgetown. Becca's safe house. I arrived incognito, Harlan's face under ball cap, Echo clinging. Data safe. We barricaded. News blaring. Harlan surfaced. Live stream from a burner. My frame feral and hoodie. Family reunion, he leered. Demands. $50 mill. Reversal vial.
Custody.
Or the kids next Tommy. Becca sobbed. I negotiated via proxy.
Stalling. Inside.
Kylie Steele. Trace the signal. Feds triangulated. Abandoned warehouse off I-90. Raid dawn. Flashbangs.
Shouts.
Harlan cornered. Knife to my throat. Come get me. Imposter. SWAT breached. Shots popped. He went down fighting. My blood pooling. Official. Suicide by cop. Unofficial? Harlan's choice. Dying as himself. Aftermath. Suits settled billions. Village expanded. Becca returned. Wary peace. Echo asked, Uncle back. I knelt. Safe now. But the reversal whispered. Scans showed slippage accelerating. Harlan's cancer? Mine now. Shadows on lungs. Controversial close. I drafted will. Echo's sole heir. Becca guardian. If I fade, I told her. Tell her the truth. Fusions end. Kylie emerging.
Harlan dissolving.
Debated legacy. Villain redeemed. Or thief eternal. Willow Creek boomed. My shadow long. Neighbors whispered. Whitaker saved us. No idea the cost. Echo's school play loomed like a referendum, 5th grade. The Witch of Willow Creek. Ironic script where the outsider saves the town from greedy lords. She landed the lead. Green face paint and pointed hat. Practicing lines in the kitchen while I chopped kale for stir-fry. Harlan's hands steady, but spotted with age. 7 years into the fusion. And time eroded us both, his hair silvered fully. My memories sharpened to knives. Becca watched from the island, wine glass sweating, our marriage certificate a post-trial convenience. Tax perks and optics. You're slipping, she noted. Casual. Echo twirled. Mama. Dada's the hero.
Hero.
The word curdled. Willow Creek was my magnum opus. Revitalized core. Tech hub luring Amazon refugees. Rents stabilized under Whitaker Equity Fund. Neighbors canonized me. Statue in the park. Plaque reading visionary. Mrs. Hargrove baked apology pies. Block parties toasted Harlan's grace. But grace is veneer, beneath. My LLCs own 92%. Deeds ironclad. Escapes barred. The betrayal scar? Faded to pride. Tommy's village thrived. Vets mentoring coders. His photo eternal. Yet the swap unraveled. Threads pulling. Nightmares blended. Harlan's Yale beatings morphing to my bar shifts. Fists blurring. Doctors urged intervention. Experimental CRISPR neural rewrite. $10 mill black market. Becca pushed. For echo. I resisted. Reversal meant judgment. Kylie Hargrove. Accused of Harlan's frauds. Custody revoked.
Stay.
And dissolve into him. A cancer creeping, biopsy confirmed. Early. Treatable. But his vice-ridden lungs. Controversial calculus. Sacrifice self for daughter. Or cling to power. Harlan's final secret detonated via estate lawyer. Posthumous codicil. Unsealed on Echo's birthday. Videotape. Him in my body. Pre-raid. Smirking. If you're watching, Kylie.
Congrats.
You won the shell game.
But the kid?
Mine through and through. DNA test enclosed. Paternity Harlan 99.9%. Raise her as villain. Or free her. Envelope held swab results. Confirmed. Becca knew, had always known. Harlan's whisper in her ear pre-gala. Why? I roared. His voice cracking. She wept. Feared you'd bolt. She's ours now. Betrayal bisected us. Echo burst in. Cake frosted. Presents. I hugged her. Inhaling innocence. Then retreated to the study. Vial from years ago. Backup serum. Hidden. Stared from drawer. Drink. Swap back. Kylie free. Harlan's corpse claimed. But empire crumbles. Echo lost. Or destroy it. Let fusion claim me. Decisions paralyzed. Seattle rain drummed judgment. Climax crested at the play. Auditorium packed. Neighbors beaming. Echo nailed her lines. Power's illusion. Love's the real magic. Applause thundered as curtain fell. Backstage. She beamed. Dada proud. I nodded. Throat tight. Then lights flickered, power surge, and vertigo hit. World tilted, voices warped. Becca gasped. Your eyes. Harlan's blue fading to my hazel. Panic rippled. Feds? No. Neural cascade. Long feared. I staggered to green room. Echo trailing. Dada sick. Becca locked door. Phone dialing docs. Visions assaulted. Tommy's barrel. Harlan's knife. Becca's betrayal. Choose. I rasped. Collapsing. Echo knelt. Tiny hand on cheek. Stay. Dada. Be Kylie. Twist inverted. The swap reversed not by vial. But will, Echo's touch. Or Psyche's mercy. Flesh shifted. Bones aching like puberty reversed. Harlan's bulk melted. Curves reformed. Voice lightened. Minutes? Hours? Becca cradled me, her. As I emerged, Kylie. 39 now. Freckles vivid. Hair chestnut wild. Mirror confirmed me.
Whole.
But the reversal's price. Harlan's essence lingered. Echoes and laugh. Cravings for scotch. Cancer? Gun. Neural purge. Echo stared. Awed. Two mamas? Becca confessed all. Tears cathartic. Forgiveness? Fractured. But forged anew, therapy. Not trials. Endgame. I deeded Willow Creek to the fund, community trust. Irrevocable. Neighbors woke to emails. Yours now. No strings. Whispers exploded. Kylie's ghost generous? Some hailed saint. Others scam. Debate eternal. Op-eds clashing. Becca and I, co-parents. Tentative lovers. Rebuilding in a Tacoma cottage, away from mansions. Back to anchors. Echo grew. Coder like Tommy. Questioning power's cost. You owned it all.
Mama.
Why give? I'd smile. Scars faint. Revenge owns you.
Kid.
Freedom's the real dig. Was it happy? Tragic? You decide. America loves its debates, podcasts parsing, books optioned.
Me?
I sip coffee on porches. Rain pattering.
Whole.
Neighbors? They whisper still. Gold digger turned guardian. No idea I owned their souls once. And let them keep them.